And we are live. How you doing, Podcast Nation, the world? This is What's Good with Gil and Larry, December 20th show. We have a lot on the slate we want to talk about, man, so I want to get kind of to it. I know you want to start off first with a UFC. Was it UFC, right? Yeah, I want to
Yes.
discuss. Yes, sir. Let's discuss what happened with UFC first and bring the people in our world real quick.
Well, first thing, I want to thank everybody who tuned into our Christmas special. I got some great feedback on it, so thank you so much. Thank you for checking us out on Monday. We hope to do another special one soon. But back to what we normally talk about. That's right. UFC 296 was this past weekend, Saturday night, and the main event was for the welterweight title, Leon Edwards versus Kobe Covington. And Leon Edwards won by all the judges' scorecards, majority decision. Kobe Covington argued it a little bit, but not too much. I think that's just more his personality than anything else. It got very, very personal. Kobe Covington being Kobe Covington, going the very, very, very hard right wing kind of persona to sell the fight. And it really backfired on him because Leon Edwards took it to him. Former President Donald Trump was at this event. Kobe Covington had said that when he would win the title, he was going to let former President Donald Trump put the strap around his waist, but that did not happen, obviously. It all backfired. That puts Kobe back down the bottom of the ladder. And I don't know the next time he's going to get a shot. He's in his mid-30s. He's already had a couple of cracks at the apple. Actually, I think he's had 3 cracks at it. I think Usman twice, and Usman beat him both times. And now Leon Edwards. So he's going to have to get back up there quick because he looked a little old in this fight.
Okay.
He was not quite as quick. He still has the good cardio and all that, but his stand-up looked to be a beat slower. And even the takedown attempts seemed to be a little bit slower. And that's what he does, ground and pound. Every second that the fight is on the feet is an advantage for Leon Edwards. He took it to him. Congratulations, Leon Edwards. He is still the retaining, defending welterweight champion of the UFC, representing Great Britain, and he represented them pretty well. So congratulations to Leon Edwards. There's not really much to add to that. What would you have next on the docket for you, homie?
Oh man, I want to go. So we're gonna stick to fighting and martial arts, and I just want to go the wrestling route, right? Because as you know, CM Punk then came back, and I think it's for the WWE universe. I just like him, man. I think he's just a polarizing figure. If you know anything about wrestling, you know he's polarizing. I think he really speaks generally from his heart. So I love his promos because I think he really, really, really speaks from his heart. And he's an a-hole. He's an a-hole. Certified a-hole. Certified a-hole. Straight up.
We love it, though.
But we love it. We love it. I always lean towards a-holes because I'm one and it's cool. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But you know that Seth Rollins had they're building it up because Seth Rollins was kind of, he was teed off. He's not accepting them. He's really put a lot for this company. He didn't, he pretty much held it up during the times that it was transitioning and everything. And his position and he clearly stated because he came out and he had a face off and because it was in Cleveland. And CM Punk said that in Cleveland, has a history of, a bad history in Cleveland. So he actually officially signed to Raw. Was it Raw? Yeah, it was Raw. He signed to Raw officially in Cleveland, right? Because he's trying to turn the page, start anew. Seth Rollins comes down and he says, clearly, I hate you. I hate you. There's no love lost. And there's 2 things going to happen. Either I'm going to expose you for the fraud you are, or you actually are going to be living up to the hype and the bill, and I'm going to be the one that's going to end your career. So either which way, you can sense the bad blood. And his angle was the fact that CM Punk pretty much, deuced, for lack of terms, deuced on the whole WWE, the brand, you know, kind of peed on the blessings, peed on everything they was doing for him, how they built him up to be the champion, and then now you want to graciously come back years later because it's kind of like your last option. That's how his perception of it was. And he said, you know, I'm the champion. You know, I carry this on my back. Men carry it on my back. You know, them wrestlers back there, them are my brothers in arms. You know, and I'm talking not only for myself but for them also. So it's going to be my job to get you up out of here. And as you know, he said, I'm in the Royal Rumble. We already know where this is going. You called it. You called it, brother. You called it, Gil. You said he was going to sign up for the Royal Rumble. And what happened if he wins? We know he's going to win. We know he's going to challenge Seth Rollins. This is best. This is the best thing you could dial up outside of, you know, the legend killer trying to kill, you know, Roman. Whew. Man, you can't make this up, man. If you're a wrestling fan, you can't make this up, man. But you really can. What's your opinion?
Well, I tell you what, right now, WWE is white hot. I mean, I'm talking, this feels like the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
How it's built up so much. It's always good when you have that real rivalry when the guys don't like each other. This, to me, exceeds John Cena and The Rock, and it feels like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Yeah,
it feels like that. Two guys really at the top. I would say Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were more physically at the top combined than maybe Seth Rollins and CM Punk is, because CM Punk is in his 40s now, and you know, he hasn't wrestled full time consistently in a while, so I can't say that he's quite in his prime. Maybe Seth still is, and I think they're both from like the Chicago area, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I really like it because, like I said on our last show last week, you really don't know who's the guy that's going to put the other one over. You know, that for the storyline, I guess it would make sense that, I don't know who wins, but it has to be where it can't end. You've got to keep it so they have a rematch in like SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And the guy who lost in WrestleMania, now he has to win at SummerSlam for them to, you know, have that, you know, the tiebreaker, the one who's going to win 2 out of 3. Now, I don't want them to do what they did with The Rock and Cena. They built up The Rock and Cena like this has never happened before and it'll never happen again. Rock wins, and then they do it a year later where Cena. I don't want to do that. I want to do it all in the calendar year of 2024. I want to see CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, which I would be shocked if he doesn't.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked. I want to see him win it and obviously challenge Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. Seth Rollins has to keep the title until WrestleMania, and then who knows? I'm going to predict that that's going to be night 1 main event. And then my prediction for night 2 main event is going to be Randy Orton and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I guess the only one that I'm not sure of yet is Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion. Who's going to be the one to challenge him? I'm not saying that someone has to beat him, but that guy's got a big streak going for the Intercontinental. You know, people don't talk about it as much because it's the heavyweight championship that gets talked about. And you don't really hear Gunther in promos really building himself up too much.
That's the truth.
But he, as an in-ring performer, is out.
That's the truth.
And this is me personally speaking for myself. I would only have Gunther lose if you're going to use Gunther and build him up for the next level to compete for the championship, because he is incredible in the ring.
I agree.
The shape that he got himself in. Look at Gunther 5 years ago, what he looked like. Okay, he was pretty thick, and I'm not talking muscular thick. I'm talking chubby thick.
Yeah, chubby.
He got himself in amazing shape. He looks fantastic. Dude, he used to be. I mean, he had to have been like 125 pounds heavier than what he is right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was good.
Wow.
He was good then. But if you watch him now, you look at him on NXT 5 years ago, and you look at him now. I mean, the face and the haircut's the same, but the physique is completely different. Completely different. And he's not huge or anything like that. He's got a slender
Yeah.
build. I mean, it looks like all natural, him losing the weight and getting in the shape that he is. So I don't know what his secret is. I'm sure he'll put it out there at some point. But anyway, point being, I think he's fantastic, and I think whoever challenges him, if Gunther loses, that's just gonna it's gonna be one of those things where Gunther's gonna put the other guy over while he now jumps up and competes for one of those world heavyweight titles. And I'm gonna guess if Randy wins against Roman Reigns, I'm gonna guess who Gunther's gonna go after. And I am. It's still early, but right now I'm going to predict Randy challenges Roman Reigns and beats Roman Reigns, because I think they want Randy Orton to break Ric Flair and John Cena's title record. They're both tied at 16, and Randy Orton has 14. He's at 14. So I think they want Randy Orton to be the guy to break the official record. Now, if you talk to Ric Flair says he has like 27, but officially it's 16. So I think Randy Orton's the guy to do it, because John Cena is not full time. Obviously, Ric Flair's not going to add to it. He's probably officially retired finally. You see Randy Orton, aesthetically, he looks better than he's ever looked.
That's right.
So, and plus, he's in his early to mid 40s now too. The clock is ticking on him too. If he's going to break the record, he's going to have to do it within the next, 3 to 4 years, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bold prediction, though.
Yeah. A little early, but that's,
Man. Oh man, so all my wrestling fans, I think that's a good recap of the new events that's going on WWE. So if you don't know, now you know. We let you know. Okay.
We'll build up Royal Rumble, and we'll follow Royal Rumble, because that's the next big one, real big one. Yeah. They have a pay-per-view, every month, but the next real big one is Royal Rumble, which I think is in January. So that's only next month. And that's the final big one until WrestleMania, which is like 2 months after that, 2.5 months after that. So we'll build up. We'll make a big thing about Royal Rumble. We'll make our predictions, and then we'll really recap it, because that's, as football is winding down, we're gonna have to build up things to talk about.
College basketball, we're going to March Madness, so. I'm keeping up on college basketball, but it's, the landscape has shifted so much now in college basketball. When I was a kid, it was dope because we had Dick Vitale. So I was like a Dickie V fan. Like I played ball. So that was the thing of college basketball for me. So this year I really haven't been on. I've been on it for as a top 10 in certain schools that I've been on. Traditional schools are not at the top of the heap no more, like the Kentuckys and Dukes. This is, they're in I ain't gonna say transition years, but Coach K retired. Calipari is starting. I think the game's starting to pass him by a little bit. He is the author of the one and dones, but I'm being honest. He's not getting them. He has obviously top 5 recruits and everything, but it's just not coming together, because the top of the heap now, you got Houston. They built a dope program down in Houston. Kansas is the number 1 team right now. Kansas is number 1 team. Arizona Kansas is. Purdue is number 1. Kansas is number 2. Arizona was number 1 till they lost Purdue. Purdue got probably one of the National Player of the Year candidates on their team, which is Zach Edey. This dude's 7'4", man. This dude looks tall on TV. And he's a big man. He's like a big man. So I'm wondering how he's going to transition to the NBA, because he's definitely going to the NBA, no question about it. But yeah, I'll probably get more in detail on college basketball next year when it's really getting about March Madness time. Then I really have a real
Yeah.
recap because that's when it's going to make sense to me. Feel me?
Well, you want to see the conference championships prior to that.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be the build up just before Selection Sunday.
Yeah. So that will be when we'll really get in tune is during the conference championships, and we'll give highlights of who we expect to come out and things of that nature and what they're going to do in the tournament, which is March Madness. Nobody can predict who's going to win March Madness. Nobody. It doesn't happen. Okay. Moving forward though, man, I'm gonna get to the NBA, man, because as you know, Ja Morant, 25 game suspension is finally up, and he debuted last night against New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm gonna tell you, my brother, this was a game. If I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make a statement to the league and make a statement to show you my worth and doubt all the haters and everybody that was with all the noise, because that's what they were saying. Oh my God, he's a thug and yada. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We were 20. You tell me you was perfect at 20 something, and I'm gonna call you a liar. Okay. Nobody teaches you how to deal with celebrity. Nobody teaches you how to deal with money. Nobody teaches you how to deal with a status and being an icon. Nobody teaches you that, So yes, you're going to make certain mistakes. And then it's social media. We're in the social media world. Unfortunately, we like to post everything. Everything is, look at us. We're live. Everything is a moment. And sometimes you don't realize the moment could be critical. But any which way, he played New Orleans Pelicans, man. When I say this game was it was a crazy game, man. They were down by 27. Mind you, Memphis only 6-19. So at that point in time, without Ja Morant, they would have tucked it in. It'd have been game over, But with Ja Morant, he showed you what he brings to that team. It's a spark. It's energy. It's space. It's he is a top. He's a top 5 guy, straight up and down, man. He is exciting. He is a game changer, and I'm giving him all the hype. Because for you to be off that many games and you to come back and drop 34, and you won the game.
So game winner.
And nothing you can do with him. And that's what, he's fresh, but he's not in basketball shape. It's a difference. You ain't been hooping, but not hooping. NBA is a different speed. You know what I mean? It's like coming in the NFL and you're trying to play NFL speed. Even though you've been practicing, it's a different speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So win mostly win, trying to get your win right, But man, you couldn't script it up any better, man. And he showed us what he is to this, not only to his team, but to the league. He's exciting, man. He's exciting. He must see TV, brother. Like, seriously, if I'm gonna go watch anybody play, it would be Ja Morant. Because he is just that exciting. Him, LeBron, Giannis, Dame. These certain names, Steph, even speaking of Steph, Steph shows you what he does too against Boston. Yeah, he snapped yesterday, But I just thought that was great, man, for the league, man. Just had Ja Morant back. And I think it's going to be interesting because they're only like 7 games away out the 10th spot right now, So that's a doable number to reach, especially with him at the helm. Because he makes everything easy for his team. Spacing, big men. When you have a dynamic player, he makes the game easy. That's the level of how great somebody is when they make it look easy what they do. Because once you remove them from that team, you see exactly how they look without them. And that's one player. What's your opinion, my brother?
Well, I guess we could throw out the whole notion that the team is better without Ja Morant. Like they were trying to pull last year.
Yeah. Okay.
And the year before. No. I'm in total agreement. It's not just the fact that that he can score; it's how he scores. He's electrifying.
Oh.
He's out there. I mean, to you and I, he's a little on the tall side. He's over 6 feet, right. But to see him out there amongst those trees and beating them off the dribble at full speed and dunking over guys and getting alley-oops and throwing alley-oops, and he could go inside, outside. I mean, I still have my concerns about his frame. Right, I don't know, because he's so thin. I don't know how long he's going to last, especially since he likes to attack the hole so much. And, guys are going to challenge him because he's always got a little something to say. after, he dunks on
Oh, sure.
somebody or
Sure.
hits a fadeaway on somebody. And guys, are prideful. They're only going to take so much of that. And, he was gone for 25. I can't believe in 25 games already happened. But he's back. I mean, you couldn't script it any better for
No.
him. I mean, how he played and the game winner, that's just fantastic. But you're right, though. I hope in that time that he missed, in his mind, he's not playing victim. He's not listening to all the yes men and man, you're a superstar and they did you wrong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his father has to act like a father, not a little schoolgirl pom poms.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen, Gil. I don't think it's gonna happen, Gil. I seen
Hey,
it
listen,
yesterday. That ain't happening, Gil. He's living his best life. He's living his best life
if
right
his
now.
father's going to keep it up like that, then what do you expect with John Morant? I would hate to see his career end shortly over dumb stuff off of, suspensions, indefinite suspensions like Draymond Green has and stuff like that. Like you don't need that. You need to be one of the faces of the NBA. You really need to be that because LeBron, despite the fact that he's ageless, he's not getting younger. Steph Curry is not getting younger. Okay. You and I both love the Joker, but he's not really the guy that you can market to be the face of the NBA.
No.
He's a tall, goofy looking white guy that speaks broken English. That's not, those kind of guys don't sell the sneakers. It's the guys that look like you and me that are the same size as you and me, like Allen Iverson was. They're the ones who sell the sneakers. They're the ones that sell the merch. Memphis belongs to two people right now, Elvis Presley and John Morant.
That's a fact.
Okay. And
that's a fact.
John Morant can really, really cash in, but he's got to be smart and you got to surround yourself with the right people. If his pops is going to be his pops, then okay. But you can't have your inner circle be the ones showing you the guns, bringing you to the nightclubs. And, you got to have people to take care of you, to look out for you, your best interests and heart. And unfortunately, even as a grown adult, even though he's a young adult, he is a grown adult. I believe he is a father.
Yes.
He's got to surround himself with people that have to babysit him to do the right thing until he's ready to do the right thing. Not surround yourself with a clique, like Allen Iverson did, and going down to Atlantic City like he used to do every night and stuff like that, or how James Harden is with the nightclubs and the casinos and stuff like that. You got a real opportunity here. I wish professional athletes would think to themselves, as soon as they sign their contract as a professional athlete, when they go from collegiate to professional, I wish they would tell themselves, okay, I am on the back nine of my career. Because you are. If you're going to play 10 years, 12 years as a pro, well, you've already done that as a young person. You did that in elementary school. You did it in high school. You did it in college. Add all those years up, you've got over a decade. Now you're expected, if you're a really good player, to play another decade or maybe a little more. We can't expect these guys to all be like LeBron, 15 plus years. If you could do 10 to 12, that's very successful.
That's a fact.
But you got to think, as soon as you sign that contract, now I'm on the back nine. I'm using a golf term. And I'm not talking about hole, 10. It might be hole 13 because maybe you don't have another 10 years. So you've got to think like that. You've got to think, this is the stretch run for me. Even though I'm at my peak as a player, this is my stretch run. And it's going to go fast. It's going to go fast. Okay. And you want to build a legacy. You want to win. You want to do all this stuff. You and I both know, man, a decade goes this quick now.
Fast.
Goes this quick. A decade to you and I now is like 4 years was the 30 years ago. I remember how 4 years felt in high school.
That's a fact.
It's like, man, this 4 years went pretty quick. When I got out of high school, every year went quick.
That's a fact, man.
Every year went
That's
quick.
a fact.
So you're challenging time, and time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. So I just hope John Morant was really able to center himself,
Mhm.
get his priorities straight, and to come up with a plan, because he's got an opportunity that you and I would have killed for.
You're right
If
about
we
that.
had that kind of ability and knowing what we know now, that we're past middle age, I mean, we would do everything right. Now, I understand the guy is still only in his early 20s, but
Yes.
this could all end fast. You can't keep getting caught with guns. You can't be waving guns.
Uh,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? If something deadly can
Right.
happen. Plus, not to count the suspensions. These suspensions are going to get longer now. Each one's going to get longer. The next one's going to be half a season. The one after that's going to be a full season, and then you're going to be excommunicado, as
That's a
they
fact.
say in John Wick. All right. So please, please, we want to watch you. You're a fan. I'm a fan. Just I'll keep it simple. Act your age.
That's it.
Act your age.
You know,
Prioritize and go out there. Show up and show out.
you
Show
know,
up and show out.
on internet thought, right? And for me personally, I'm not saying that like I'm saying, oh, you can't have a gun, okay? Because it's the capacity of which you have the gun at. Now if you're protecting your family, your house, because as we know, these athletes do get targeted. These people do get targeted. People burglarize their house. It happened with Sean, you know what I'm talking about, off of the
Taylor.
Redskins, Sean
Sean
Taylor.
Taylor.
Sean Taylor, they went there and robbed his house. His family's in there. So I'm all about protecting your family by any means. Get a big dog and a gun. You be past the dog, the gun was made for you, my brother. You feel me? But on the flip side of that, if you got to ride around in places where you need a gun, that's not smart decision making. It's definitely not the company you want to keep. You're an athlete. Why are you in these environments running around with pistolos, man? Like, you don't have to be in the hood, okay? You don't have to be in the hood. You live a different life, okay? The hood wish they could live your life. That's why they're with you. And once again, piggybacking what you said, man, you gotta have a strong entourage. If you don't have an entourage or people around you, at least don't have yes men, man. And that's just a cardinal rule in life, man. Don't have a bunch of people that's not going to keep it real with you. They're doing you a disservice. If you have a person in your life that's everything you do is great, everything you do is, oh my God, yeah, he's okay. Even when you're wrong, you don't need them people around you.
Mhm.
They're just freeloaders. You don't need a leech. You need somebody who's going to really say, hey, man, you're bugging. You're tripping. You have the opportunity of a lifetime. You worked your behind off. Remember where you came from. Look at your house. Look at your beautiful wife or your kids. You willing to give that up for what? Now you look like the biggest fool ever. That's how we look at you. We're going to talk about you like you're the biggest fool ever. You blew your opportunity. This is a 1 in a million shot. Don't blow it. And that's for any kid out there, when you're looking up to the John Morants and all that stuff, man, know that. Don't blow your opportunity, man, when you work hard to get to a certain position, man. You do this so you don't have to go back to them environments. So don't sit there and glorify it. Remember why you did it. That part. Moving forward. Now the NBA has to compete with the NFL for Christmas Day. Not cool. Not cool. I'm calling it, man. Not cool, bro. Not cool. Christmas Day has always been an NBA day. Always been an NBA day. Now you're making me decide, do I want to watch football, which I probably do, because I'm like, basketball, it's still early. Football's gearing up around the playoff time. These games are critical, brother. This is the critical time of the season right now. It's unfair, NFL, that you're making me decide to watch basketball, football, which I'm going to flip between both of them anyway. But it's not fair, man. It's not cool. NBA has always been a Christmas Day thing. You and I both know this, my brother. So why did the NFL decide they want to play 3 games on Monday? I'm not feeling it. That's my personal opinion. I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry. Y'all greedy. I'm sorry. What's up?
You just said it. It's greed. It's greed. The NFL knows that they're king. They don't care about anybody else's schedule at all. They don't care that they screwed up the Daytona 500 for NASCAR by adding an extra game on the season, because they're not starting the season earlier. They always want to make sure they start it after the Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So also anytime they add an extra game on the schedule, that just makes the schedule longer. That just makes the playoffs end longer. I remember when the Super Bowl, when it was done, it was still January.
It was.
Now, not only is it not the first Sunday in February most of the time, but you bet your bottom dollar. You can this one take to the bank. They are not stopping with a 17-game schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They are not. They're going to go to 18.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go to 18. They're not going to take off another preseason game. You're lucky that they took off one as it is. They're going to have 3 for sure. And now they're going to extend the NFL season again. So I remember the Daytona 500 between the Super Bowl and Daytona was a 3-week gap. Now it's a 2-week gap. And once they make it an 18-game schedule, it's going to be a 1-week gap. And they always make a big deal. I know I'm talking about NASCAR here, but I'm just trying to make a point that the Daytona 500 is the Super Bowl for NASCAR.
It is.
They spend the most time prepping for that first race of the year. And you build up and you advertise for it, and you have a race the week before to get everybody's lips wet to get ready for the 500 the year after. But now with that 17th game, they're not going to be able to do that race before. And you know what? The NFL doesn't care. They don't care that they're screwing up your season. They don't care that they're screwing up your Super Bowl. They don't care that that they'll have a game on the same time as the World Series and have higher ratings for their regular season game on a Thursday night than a World Series game. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. So they're not going to care that the NBA, that this was their thing, having games on there. Not only do they not care, but they didn't put 1 game. They didn't put 2 games. They put 3 games. They did a 1 o'clock, 4:30, and an 8:15 game.
That's all day.
So they made it that the whole day the NFL is an option.
That's crazy, man.
The whole day.
That's crazy, man.
Day. And listen, the NBA, they got good games, man. They got good games or big market. They got Milwaukee and the New York Knicks. They got Golden State and Denver.
Oh, good game.
They got Boston, LA.
Woo.
They got Philly, Miami.
Woo.
And they got and the late game is Dallas and Phoenix.
Woo.
So they got good teams. They got some good markets, right? But I'm guaranteeing you the NFL will outrate them. Guarantee it.
They will.
Guarantee it. Considering it's the NFL and it's late in the year, like you said, like this is the playoff push right now where all these games matter. Oh my God. And their games on Monday, 1 o'clock, Las Vegas and Kansas City. Kansas City is trying to get the first or second seed. They're still in it. Giants, Philly, 2 big markets.
Yes.
Baltimore at San Francisco.
Who's not watching that game?
Who's not watching that game?
Who's not
watching that game? Plus, they got to compete with a Christmas Story that's going to have the marathon on all day on TNT and TBS. Shoot your eye out, kid.
I feel sorry for the NBA. I feel sorry for the NBA because it's unfair for them to have to compete with all that. When in the past it's always been their day. It's always been about the NBA on Christmas, man. So, Mr. Roger Goodell, thank you very much for being who you are. Okay.
And not only that, here's a prediction. The ratings will be at least good enough for them to say, why don't we do this every year?
You know about that, brother.
And next year, because it's going to be a leap year, Christmas is going to be on Wednesday. Christmas Eve will be on Tuesday. So now what are they going to do with the schedule? Are they going to get rid of the Thursday game and maybe do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Tuesday, Wednesday? They could do that. They have options.
Yeah.
They got options.
They definitely got options.
Instead of having a Monday night game and instead of having a Thursday night game, after the Sunday game, do Tuesday and Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Ratings. It's different. The NBA is going to have on games. Who cares? They're not the king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Since we done brought up the NFL and we have made our segue to the NFL, as you know, if you don't know America, Gil is definitely a Chicago Bears fan to the heart. You know, and I commend you on that, my brother, because that's a true fan. Because you don't find too many Chicago Bear fans nowadays. All these bandwagon jumpers, okay? You know, I get slack because I'm a Cowboy fan. I live in Eagle country, so I can hear it everywhere I go. My barber's an Eagles fan. My family's an Eagle fan. Everywhere I go, Eagle fan, right? And the first thing they always say is, have you ever been to Dallas? No, but I'm from Delaware. We don't. I'm living in Delaware. We don't have a team, so I can be who I want to be. Okay. 2, when the last time you went to a Super Bowl? Y'all just start going to Super Bowl. Stop it, man. You know, if you look at our division, we have the most titles in our division, the most championships, the most rings. Okay, you still are little brothers. So stop it. Okay. But I have to talk about my team, and this is what happens. Once you have a big game, right, and you set a standard for yourself, you set the standard of excellence for yourself, man. When you play this game, every game matters, especially when you're the big dog, okay? We beat the Eagles, and I really think that for us, and mentality-wise, it was a big game, and we took it as just the biggest game, right? Because when you beat your nemesis and you beat them convincingly, now you're sipping the punch, you know, you're feeling yourself, you're walking with that chest out thing, right? And you don't go into the next game with that type of hunger, that type of focus, that type of determination, especially when you're going to Buffalo. And Buffalo at this point is playing great football. They're starting to click. They're clicking at the right time. They're hot. Okay. You know this. So knowing that you have to go into their stadium, wouldn't you think that you would have went in there with a game plan of saying, no, we're going to dominate. We're going to show you that we're the big dog. We're going to show you that we took it as being disrespectful, that we're the underdog in this game and we have the better record. That we just beat one of the better teams in the NFL conventionally. So I would think you would take that same mentality up to Buffalo with you. Unfortunately, this is the Cowboys, so they did. It was a day off. They came out flat. They came out weak. They came out. I hate watching teams play soft, bro. That's my biggest thing, man. I don't mind how you lose. You know, we can't win them all, right? But effort means the most to me. You got to play like it's your last. Every down matters. It's your last one. Every possession matters. You got to show me you're a dog. I like dogs, man. I have a big dog. I like dogs. Okay? I ain't got nothing against kitty cats, but I like dogs. Okay? We got beat at the trenches, bro. They ran all over us. Jay Cook has not ran for over 100 yards all season, bro. He went for $130. $130. They kept feeding him, right? I would have thought that you would have been prepared for everything. And I truly believe that they overplanned for them to throw the ball. So I think they put overemphasis on the receivers and Josh Allen just being the spy and him doing the bulk of the running. And they didn't plan for the running back. That's the only thing I could think of is that the fact that you did not make a game plan for the running back and they exploited that game plan. Okay, say you didn't come in there planning for the running back. Once you start seeing this guy go, bro, you got to start filling the box up. Okay? Because if we really got a tight secondary or one of the better secondaries in this league, right? All right, y'all got to go to man. Y'all got to go man. Y'all got to show us that you got to earn your check today, man. You got to earn your check today, okay? Now it's time for you to go get your money. Because we got to stuff this box right now because they're killing us with the run. I'll be darned if I'm going to just rush this 4. I'm going to put 8 in the box. You hear me? We're going to have single man on the outside and safety. You got to do your job, bro. You better read this field. That's how we going. Okay, I got Bland and got Gilmore on the side. Let's go. What we talking about? Right? Disappointment. It was an embarrassment. It was ugly. We just got beat down tremendously, and I didn't like the way we lost, brother. That's just my opinions on my team. I'm very disappointed, and it pissed me back to square one. Once again, when we play elite teams, especially when the playoffs come, because we're going to have a hard road in the playoffs, bro. It's just going to be hard. Our easiest game probably going to be the first one to play in the South. Whoever wins the South. Outside that, you either going to go to Philly, and you definitely got to go to San Fran. And the way we playing, I don't see that happen. I don't see a win coming. How you feel about your team, Chicago?
Ugh. Let me tell you, that was really bad for me on Sunday. I have to apologize to my wife because she was trying to be loving and she was trying to be supportive, and I wasn't having any of it. You know, people react differently when they're happy, and people react differently when they're sad. And I was a level below sad. I was depressed. I was depressed. I told you, I said this on the podcast more than once. The Bears, for them to win, they pretty much have to win all 4 quarters, because the other team that is better than them only has to win for like half a quarter.
That's fair.
And it's the 4th quarter, and they'll probably win the game. The Bears have had three devastating losses this year. 3. Denver, choking it up in the 4th. Detroit, the first time they played them, choking it up in the 4th. And then this past Sunday against Cleveland, choking them up in the 4th. They got 3 interceptions off of Flacco. One of them was a pick 6, but they didn't score in the 4th quarter, and they couldn't extend drives in the 4th quarter. And Luke Getsy, who is an awful play caller, awful after the original 15 scripted plays that every team has going into a game. After that, he cannot think on his feet for nothing. Doing these stupid trick plays, going for it on 4th and 2, and not executing. Oh, dude, just if it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, run up the middle. Stop being cute. Stop doing these stupid handoffs to the wide receiver and making Fields run laterally and stuff like. It's just so dumb. The play calling sometimes is so dumb. You're just and what did we say? What's the difference between a good coach and just any other coach? Time management, situational football, and time management. You gotta know where you're at in the game and what you need. If all you need is a first down, then you gotta go all out to get the first down. If all you need is a field goal to make it a 2-possession game, then get a field goal. But you can't just sit on a lead. You got to realize they're coming. There's a reason why they were favored. They're at home. They're coming. You were better than them for 3 quarters. But in the 4th quarter, it's balls out. Okay? Balls out. And I'm not talking footballs. Okay? That's how they're playing. They're playing with their hair on fire. Right. They're going for broke. You're going to get the ball back. You've got to do something with it. You can't go 3 and out. You can't turn it over. You can't give them a short field. I'm not blaming the defense for giving up a couple of touchdowns at the end of the game, because they were great for over 3 quarters. Okay, they got a pick 6. They put points on the board for you. You only scored 17 in total, which means the offense only scored 11. Okay, why did the Bears get inside the 40 and not attempt a field goal at the half? Why did they go for a Hail Mary? Okay. And another thing, because there were 2 Hail Marys. Why on earth, if Darnell Mooney cannot catch a ricochet bounce off of another guy right into his hands and into his stomach, okay, kind of ball like that on a Hail Mary, if he can't catch that, then why is he on the field?
That's a fact. Hands.
Okay, he's in a contract year. He wants to be paid like a number one when he's really a number three.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, when it was a gotta have it kind of play, he dropped it. He dropped the game winner on 4th down against Washington last year. He double clutched it, and when he caught it, he went out of bounds. If he would have just held on to it the first time, feet down, game over, Bears win. He's done it a bunch of times this year. Earlier in this game, in the first half, on a 3rd down, right to him on an angle, pops right out of his hand. And then at the end of this game, on a Hail Mary, this is what you hope for. You hope it bounces off of those guys jumping for it, and it comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happened. It bounced off of them, hit him in the hands. He's going down to the ground for some reason. Nobody touches him, but he's got to go down to the ground, hits him in the hands, and bounces off of his stomach. If you can't catch that, don't be on the field. Don't be on the field, because I'd rather the 4th or 5th wide receiver on the team or the backup, the 3rd string tight end be on the field than a guy that's the number 2 and can't handle a ball like that. Larry, you could have caught that. I know I would have. Okay, it's not a bullet. It's bouncing off of somebody, and it comes right to you. If the ball's not heavy, it doesn't have a spiral.
Oh, man.
My goodness, it's not the loss, it's how they lose.
It's how they
lose
man.
Like that. So what did I do? I started drinking, and I started doing and saying things I shouldn't have done and said. And I felt guilt ever since. You know, I passed out on the couch. I wake up the next day. I'm so sad. And I'm not the only one. I know the other Bear fans that were watching the game couldn't stomach their dinner that night. Had to go to work the next day. This is in their head. It's replaying in their head. What I'm trying to talk about, man. You think this is easy? At least your team is going to the playoffs. Yeah. At least your team went to the playoffs last year. Yeah. These people that are like, oh, when was the last time you won a Super Bowl? Shut up.
That part.
When was the last time my team won a playoff game?
That part.
Okay. We only go to the playoffs every once or 6 years, and we don't even win when we go. Okay. Never mind a playoff run. Never mind a Super Bowl. Never mind that. But I'm still there. I'm still there every week. My motto always used to be 13-3, 3-13. I'm there. Now they play 17. So 14-3 or 3-14.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
still there.
Yes, sir.
I'm still there. Okay. I'm with it. It's part of my personality. I wish I didn't care as much.
Yeah, me too,
I wish
brother.
I could go a day
me too,
where I
brother.
don't think about it. But I do. Whether I'm having a good day, a bad day, what's ever happening in my life, at some point during the day, I think about the Bears. And guess what? Most of the time, it's not anything good. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. I know the Bears are going to have 2 high picks in the draft this year. They're going to get one in the top 10, and they're going to get one in the top 2. Maybe first overall. And it's going to give me agita because I know they're not going to do what I want them to do. And I know whatever they pick is going to be the wrong thing because that's what happens. That's what happens. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. You know, I'm with a team that grabbed me back in 1984 and they never let go. And I accept it, but it's hard, man. It's hard. It's a part of my personality that, quite honestly, I wish I didn't have. I really don't, because I make myself have joy out of it. They make me not want to have joy. They just break my heart every year, and every year.
Hey, man, you know how I feel.
Every year.
You know how I feel, man. I mean, my team, we make the playoffs, and I got to hear from all the Eagles fans. I'm in Eagle country. At least you ain't got to feel the bulk of it because you're a Bears fan. So at least you don't got to feel what I feel every year. You know, my team.
No, but you know what what I do have to deal with? I got to deal with the stereotype of, oh, he roots for a loser. He must be a loser too.
Hmm.
That's what I got to deal
Oh,
with.
speaking
That's
of
what I
losers, I fell for the banana tailpipe. I should have stuck with
sure
my
did.
freaking Jets,
Sure
man.
did.
I know better. I know better. I know better. I said Miami. I know better. I don't care who's injured on Miami. I know better not to go with Zach Wilson. I got fooled by half. Brother. He had one good half. Because when that Texas game, you was there. You know.
Yep.
The second half of the game, he looked like a star. The first half, he looked like Zach Wilson. Okay. Not only did Zach Wilson clearly dropped the ball, I can't put it all on him, to be honest. You feel me? I think the O-line set him up for failure, bro. That first play when Nick Chubb killed him. I don't even blame him, man. I wouldn't want to go back in that game. The way he hit that dude, man. The blind side let him just get destroyed, bro. And then the play calling. Can you explain this to me, Gil? I'm just curious. I'm just if you are not moving the ball at all, do you go for it on 4th down and 2 when you have no offense generating?
I think they were desperate. I think they were desperate. They're looking for a spark, all that
Weird.
nonsense. Listen, for one, they have a terrible offensive coordinator that they got to keep because that's who Aaron Rodgers wants. Clearly, Aaron Rodgers can clearly say and do whatever he wants, and he can bring in whoever he wants.
Yeah.
He wanted Lazard. Lazard drops more balls than Darnell Mooney. Okay. He wanted a Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb is playing on one leg. He plays one game, then misses 2 games. Okay. He wanted Hackett, and he might be the worst offensive coordinator.
He is.
He might be the worst. And listen, I know their GM, he brought in a lot of good players, and he gets a lot of pats on the back for that. But he also brought in Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he did.
And he also, when he brought in Zach Wilson, didn't bring in a veteran quarterback to either push him for the starting job or be there to tell him, here's what you want to do and not want to do. He had his backup, I think, was also a rookie. He also had young guys with him. So there was no competition in the room, and there was no one to tell him, here's what you don't know that you don't know. Okay, there was none of that. So I almost feel like Zach Wilson was set up to fail.
Yeah.
Not everybody as a rookie hits the ground running. Not everybody's Brock Purdy. I know that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's Ben Roethlisberger. Not everybody's Dan Marino. These guys that as soon as their cleats hit the field, they were gripping it and ripping it. Most guys aren't like that. And the guys that are either in the Hall of Fame or on the verge of getting an MVP, which right now, if I had to vote today, I think Purdy is the MVP.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him that. He's been the most consistent. I'm gonna give him that. At this point, the MVP is who's the most valuable player to your team, right?
Most valuable player. They don't have to be the best.
Take them off the team, will that team still be the same team, correct?
Correct.
No. So if you take Brock Purdy off of that, and I'm glad you said that, brother, because it's going to lead me to a question I have to ask you, right? I'm going to ask you this. What is your definition of a game manager? And is that a negative connotation, or is that what is your view of a game manager? How would you define a game manager? And I'm gonna bring up what I saw.
I don't know if I can define it, but I'll just kind of explain it during my interpretation.
Okay.
A game manager is a guy who runs the offense.
Okay.
Is not expected to make big plays, but is expected to not lose the game for you, to keep you in it, to run the offense. Probably not a big play guy, but a guy that can systematically get you down the field and run the offense. That's a game manager.
My question is this to you. How many quarterbacks in this NFL league right now will you consider that's out the box of a game manager realistically?
Are you saying not a game
That's
manager?
not a game manager. How many quarterbacks can you name that is not a game manager?
Probably 10.
10.
10. The top. If you were to say, give me the top 10 quarterbacks, I would say, as I give you the list, I would say not game managers.
Okay.
From 11 to 32, they're probably game managers.
Okay, now let's lead to my point, right? Because as you know, Cam Newton said that Brock Purdy was a game manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I actually saw a short, or actually his podcast, when he actually explained what he meant by that, because a lot of people came at him as saying that's a negative connotation, basically saying like, oh, basically he's just like a bum, basically. What he said is that's not what he was saying. He was saying that in his definition of a game manager is the fact that any pit Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, in this category of game manager, extreme game managers. He said game manager to him is a person that once on that field and he's going to manage the flow of a game. He's going to dictate the pace of the game. He's not going to make too many mistakes in the game. He has a capability to make a big play and some big plays in this game. But for the most part, he's going to effectively run this team and make sure that this team run effectively, which in his definition, Brock Purdy is a game manager. He said now you have exceptional athletes, which are phenoms, the freak athletes that, like Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. These are different quarterbacks. You don't find too many of them. You know what I mean? Dan Marino would be in that category. These John Elway. These are just not the typical quarterbacks. Okay, but for the most part, it is levels to this thing, right? Brock Purdy, would I put him in the explosive category? No, but would I put him in that Peyton Manning? Would I put him in that Tom Brady type of mode? Yes, I will. Yes, I will, because he does what he needs to do and he doesn't lose you the game off of him for the most part. Okay. Now, if you take a guy like Zach Wilson, he's a bum. He's not a game manager. He's a bum. Ritter for Atlanta, he's a bum. He's a bust. I don't care how you call it. He's a flat shoulder. He is nothing exciting about. He's a bum. Anytime you lose the Carolina Panthers, you're a bum. Okay, these type of guys. Now, some people say, "Well, that's that game manager, right?" They're a game manager. Like Minshew, he's a game manager, right? No, he's a bum. He's a bum. He's not a game manager. He's a bum. Okay, so I didn't take offense to the Cam Newton's comments once he explained what he meant. You know what I mean? And I get it, because in our sports world, we consider game managers negative connotation. We consider it as, you're just okay. Really you should be holding a clipboard. Be honest. Throwing some plays in. That's how we perceive that term. When you say game manager, I'm not lying. But a game manager will actually probably win this MVP this year, because I got him also winning MVP. They're the best. He's playing the best team and he's playing the best football at the right time. So if you want to comment on that, I'm ready to get to these picks, man. I know it's been, I'm itching, man, because these picks, I'm itching for these picks, man. Because yeah.
Yeah. Well, last week my picks weren't very good. I went 7-9, so I had 2 bad weeks in a row.
Bad, bro. It's been bad. It's been terrible.
I really liked my picks last week. Anyway, try again, right? Try again. I won't stick with this very long. I gotta say, okay, Cam Newton's explanation. Maybe I'll admit I only saw a little clip of this. I saw it last week. I didn't watch it extensively, and I didn't listen or watch him explain what his definition of what a game manager is, and how you're talking about it. You're saying he really didn't mean any disrespect by it,
no disrespect,
but how it came across felt a little disrespectful, and it felt like he was saying these guys that are game managers like Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, they're high-level game managers, but if they're not the kind of quarterback that was an impact quarterback like I used to be. I think that's really what what he was kind of saying. I think he was, without saying it, he was saying it. He's like, listen, when I was MVP, I was the best quarterback in the league. I was the player on my team. He's all this stuff. But with Brock Purdy, it's like Brock Purdy's not the best guy even on offense. Dak Prescott's not even the best guy on offense. Forget about defense, offense. Jared Goff, always been a game manager. He's having a good year, but he's always been a game manager. Okay, well, Jared Goff also did go to a Super Bowl and lost just as easily as Cam did.
Yeah.
Dak, we're gonna see, and we're gonna see with Purdy. Purdy already made it to an NFC title game.
Yeah.
So it to me, it just came across like it's one of those things where you try and make a point, and you sort of say, this guy's good, but he's not the kind of good that I used to be. But no disrespect, because most guys are game managers. The majority of them are game managers. There's only a handful that's an elite athlete, or an elite athlete as far as football terms go as a quarterback. So I felt like he was like trying to cover himself. Like he was kind of being a little disrespectful by saying, but also about saying, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying. And it's weird. I think you don't have to be an elite athlete to be an elite quarterback. Brock Purdy doesn't really have the wow factor, but look at his completion percentage. Cam Newton never even sniffed a completion percentage that Purdy's doing right now. Never. Okay? Never. He's leading the league in touchdowns. He's leading the league in completion percentage. And no, he's not the best player on offense. He might not even be the second best player, but he is the main reason that they are winning. He is the main reason why they are going to be the team to beat in the playoffs.
That's a fact.
Heading to the Super Bowl. Okay, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California.
Now, before we get to these picks, right, I just want to go real quick. Who do you have coming? Who you think is going to end up being the 17 correct for the playoffs?
7-7.
Okay. So 7-7, right? What 7 do you have on the NFC side, and what do you have on the AFC side?
Talk about, oh my gosh, I did not expect this.
I know, brother.
Okay.
I not caught you off guard.
All right, let me do divisions. San Francisco,
right?
Philadelphia.
Okay, so you got Philly coming out of our division.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Does it have to be in an order?
Right now, just give me. No, I mean right now, just give me the 17.
Okay. I'll just give you the 7. Tampa.
So you got them winning the South.
I got them winning it. Dallas.
Okay.
Detroit.
You got them winning that division.
I got them winning the division.
Okay.
And
you got one more.
And the Rams.
Ooh, so you got the Rams.
That's my 7.
That's your 7 NFC. Okay, so now we looking at seeding. That's your 7, right? Who you got being 1?
San Francisco.
All right, you get the bye. So that means the second seed will have to be you got Philly being the second seed?
Let's see how many losses they have. They have 3.
They got 4.
They got 4 losses?
They got 4. Yeah. They lost.
Okay,
yeah. They lost.
They lost 3 in a row?
Yeah. They lost Seattle, Dallas, and then they lost to and they lost to us. Seattle, San Fran. San Fran pummeled them.
And they lost to the Jets earlier in the year.
Jets. So they got 4. So Lions. The Lions also have 4 losses too. So between them two, the Lions.
So what's the first tiebreaker? Is it division?
I believe so. I think it's is it division or is it non-conference?
Yucky, 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 yucky. All right, so I'm going to say San Francisco 1, Philadelphia 2, Detroit 3, Tampa Bay 4.
So Dallas would be 5.
Dallas would be 5. Rams would be 6.
Rams would be 6.
Yeah.
Right. So who's the
So
7th?
only the number 1 gets the bye.
So who's the 7th?
I think Dallas would play Detroit. Would it be
Yeah,
Detroit?
who's the 7th? Because that's 16. So who's the 7th? Minnesota?
No. San Francisco, Philly,
Seattle?
Detroit, Bucks, Dallas, Rams.
Because you got Seattle, Denver. No, that's AFC. You got Seattle. That's technically still in it. Giants is out. Washington's out. The South teams, no. So whoever wins that division is going to get in. So the only team that's left is the Rams. Is it between Minnesota, Green Bay? It's going to be between Minnesota, Green Bay, and Seattle for that 7th spot.
I don't have the records in front of me on who they got to play. I don't think it's going to be Minnesota.
Okay.
I don't. I think
more likely Seattle.
It's either going to be Seattle or Green Bay. I don't know the remaining schedules. I know Green Bay has to play Chicago week 17 in Green Bay.
Okay. So that might be a clincher for them.
Yeah.
If they don't lose the next game.
I don't know who that 7 team is going to be.
So let's just say hypothetically, just throw one in there between them two. It don't really matter.
I'll throw in Green Bay.
Okay, Green Bay goes to Philly. Who wins that game?
Philly.
Okay, so that's your 2, right? Dallas. So the 6th seed would have been the Rams. So the Rams will have to go play Detroit. Who wins that game?
Rams in an upset.
Ooh, so you got the Rams being the 6th seed. Okay, they win. Okay. So who wins between Dallas and Tampa Bay?
Dallas.
Okay. So now Dallas goes to play Philly. Because if you got the Rams, when the Rams are going to have to go play San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
Who beats? Well, we already know who wins between the Rams and San Fran, right? Mm-hmm. You got San Fran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who you got winning between Dallas and Philly?
Philly. If Philly's healthy, Philly.
Okay, Philly goes to San Fran. Who wins that game?
San Fran.
You got San Fran going to Super Bowl on the NFC side. Okay. Flip it to the AFC side now. Who makes the playoffs? 1 through 7.
Okay. Well, before the season started, I predicted a San Francisco Buffalo Super Bowl.
Okay.
It still could happen.
Okay, so we're gonna talk out just like we just did NFC. Okay. All right. So division wise, we'll go division wise. Baltimore's 1. Baltimore is going to win their division, correct?
Yep. Baltimore's going to win their division. But Cleveland might get a wild card. I got to picture it in my head.
You got Kansas City winning their division, correct?
Yep.
You got Buffalo or Miami winning their division.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm going with Buffalo to win the division.
So you see Miami losing out? Because right now they're 10-4. And Buffalo is what, 8-6?
Well, they got to play Buffalo one more time.
Yeah. But they got Dallas this weekend. We'll talk about that.
And I think Dallas is going to win that game.
Okay. We already gave a preview for that one. So you got Buffalo winning that division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Down south.
Miami could still get the wild card, though.
You got Jacksonville winning down south?
Man, I'm not sure now.
I said the same thing. I don't know.
I don't like how they're finishing.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. I'm saying the same thing. I don't like
how they're finishing.
So it's between who you got, them or the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, who you got?
That's tough. Who did I pick to win? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say Jacksonville still holds on.
Okay. So your wild card teams, you got Cincinnati making it?
No.
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 You got Miami though.
Yes.
You got Miami, so that'd be a team that's 5 right there, right?
I
You
think
got
I think Cleveland.
you
I think
got
Cleveland
Cleveland.
might.
So you got Cleveland, so that's 6. So do you got the Colts making it, or you got Denver?
Colts.
All right, so that's your 7. Okay. Is Baltimore your number 1 seed? In
Yes.
between is going to be okay. So you got Baltimore, your number 1 seed. You got Kansas City, or you got Buffalo as your 2.
Oh. Kansas City as my 2.
All right, so that's your 2. So that means that Kansas City is going to be your 3rd. I mean, Buffalo is going to be your 3.
Yeah.
And you got Jacksonville as your 4.
Yes.
You got Cleveland as your 5. Because technically their record will be better than
Okay.
the Colts, right?
Yeah.
So you got Baltimore as your 5, right? You got the Colts.
Cleveland as my
Cleveland
5.
as your 5. And you got the Colts at Colts as your 6, right?
Right. No, Miami.
No, Miami actually be your 5th. Miami will be your 5th.
Miami will be 5. Cleveland will be
6. Colts be 7.
Colts
Okay.
will be 7.
Baltimore gets a bye. Indianapolis go play Kansas City. Who wins that game?
Kansas City.
All right, you got Kansas City winning. All right. So now you got your 6th seed, which is Cleveland. Cleveland going to go play. Cleveland go be playing Buffalo.
Buffalo.
You got Buffalo winning that game with that defense of Cleveland. You got them winning.
Buffalo.
Okay.
The Bears almost won. The Bears almost won in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true. And then you got Miami playing Jacksonville. Who wins that game?
Miami.
Okay. So now, since that all planned out right, so you got Miami going to go play Baltimore in Baltimore. Who wins that game?
Baltimore.
So now you got Kansas City going to go play Buffalo.
In the upset.
Whoo! So now you got Buffalo going to play.
Buffalo has Kansas City's number. They beat them this year.
They do.
They beat them last year.
They do. So now Buffalo goes to play the Ravens in Baltimore. Who wins that game?
Buffalo in an upset.
An upset. So you got Buffalo. So you got Buffalo San Fran.
Buffalo San Fran, like I picked.
San Fran wins the whole thing. Brock Purdy's MVP.
Yeah.
I
don't know that Brock Purdy gets the MVP, but I think San Francisco wins.
Man, it's going to be another heartbreaker for Buffalo fans. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, in San Francisco, the last 2 times they were in the Super Bowl, they lost.
Yeah, they did.
They lost. They went from being 5-0 in the Super Bowl to being 5-7.
That's a fact.
They lost to Baltimore and they lost to Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yep. So no Mahomes this year. No Mahomes Magic this year.
Not this year. I think it's just because they're going to play Buffalo. I think they could have beat anybody else to get there, but I think they're gonna meet Buffalo, and Buffalo. I mean, it'll be a tight game back and forth, but Buffalo's going to win.
Now
they've won the last 2 years. I think they got their number.
Now I guess we'll get to our favorite part of our segment, man. Look, we kept it kind of light tonight, brother.
We're still at an hour and 14 minutes. So
yeah, I know.
we'll
see. For us, though.
It's not impossible for this to take 45 minutes to do these picks. Not impossible.
Oh,
all right, let's get a crack-a-lack. We got Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
All right, America. Here's these picks, man. We're giving you our picks, man. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, Thursday night, Amazon, 8:15. The New Orleans Saints at the Los Angeles Rams.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams at home are a 4-point favorite.
I don't like the Saints, so give me the Rams with the number.
I'm in agreement. I don't like the Saints too up and down. Good one
Yeah,
week, bad the next.
yeah.
Quarterback play is very inconsistent.
Choppy.
So
And then
I'm gonna go with the Rams. They're kind of a little bit on the hot side
they
right
are.
now. Okay, Saturday we got two games. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm,
Is a divisional game. Pittsburgh is a 2-point home underdog.
mm-hmm. Oh man, is Trubisky still playing?
No, they're starting Rudolph,
Mason Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph.
Oh heck no. Give me Cleveland. I mean, give me Cincinnati. He's worse. He's terrible. Give me Cincinnati, man. Give me
I
Cincinnati.
I am also in agreement. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Dude, Mike Tomlin might actually leave after this year. Things are getting that bad.
Yeah,
Um, it looks like he might have kind of lost the locker room.
yeah,
Certain guys are just not putting in the effort. Pickens is playing like he doesn't care. You can't have
yeah,
that, especially on the field where you can actually see it on TV.
yeah.
No bueno. The 8 o'clock game is on Peacock. Buffalo at the Los Angeles Chargers. No Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he's done for the year.
And their head coach got fired,
Yeah.
Staley. So the Chargers are a 12-point home underdog. 12.
No, man, you know what's funny though, Gil? Normally, teams respond well when the coach get fired, right? They normally play their best football, being player fire inspired football for the new coach. The locker room normally rallies around the new coach. I don't think this is the case. I think right now it's a lost season. I think they're getting ready for the packing in, get ready for vacation. I think right now Buffalo is just clicking on all cylinders, and then you got a quarterback that is just not ready. So at the end of the day, it's just too many factors working against them. And even though it's a big number to lay, I like Buffalo for the cover.
I am also in agreement. It almost feels like a trap until you think about the fact that Herbert's not playing, and there's no one off the bench that's gonna come close to equaling what he can do, even if you get lightning in a bottle with a new interim head coach. Which, by the way, I know last week we were talking about this would be a great situation for Belichick. I am out on Belichick going to the Chargers.
Yeah.
I don't think they can afford him.
Mm.
They are one of those cheap teams, and Belichick is going to want power and money, and he's not going to get both.
Nah,
with
the Chargers
so,
won't.
I don't think he goes there. I think Washington might be the team he goes to.
Ooh, yeah.
I think Washington.
Ooh. So you think they're gonna do some on Bellamy? You think they're gonna do
I
something?
mean, he's the offensive coordinator right now. Maybe Belichick wants to keep him. I don't know. I really don't know. But unless Bieniemy gets a head coaching job, why wouldn't he just stay in Washington?
I mean that Chargers job was open, so he might go out to San Diego or Los Angeles rather.
I don't think it's going to be him.
I don't think it is either.
In my opinion, I think it would. I think because of the Chargers not wanting to spend a lot of money and probably wanting to bring in a GM as well, I think it's going to be Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator of the Lions.
That sounds like a good. Yeah, that sounds like a good synopsis.
He's gonna take the first one that gives him a crack at it. He's gonna have that quarterback next year. Yeah, how about we throw the ball down the field a little bit? You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm gonna say Ben Johnson for that job. So far, 3 games, 3 agreements between you and me.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's what it is. I'm not losing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. I can't make the script.
Sunday, 1 o'clock, Indianapolis Colts at Atlanta. This game is on Fox. Atlanta once again is making a quarterback change. They are going back to Heineke, Ritter on the bench.
I heard that, man. You know, when you start doing
1 point favorite at home.
When you keep doing all that, man, I know it seems like a trap game, right? But when you go with this quarterback, that quarterback, you're trying to figure it out. You know, it's just they're just a terrible division, a terrible team. So give me the Colts, man. Give me the Colts. Even with Minshew with his turnover prone ability, I just think the offense is a little bit more explosive than Atlanta's is because they don't use their pieces the right way. At least Indianapolis Colts are trying to use their pieces. And I like the coach better. I think he's a better coach. So give me the Colts.
Again, I'm in agreement. This game, I was back and forth on it because of the line.
Yeah, the line is kind of throwing me, but then it's like it's Atlanta, though. I can't gamble with these dudes, man. I can't.
Yeah.
It's like you have the pieces literally to run away with a weak division. It's a weak division, and you literally have the pieces to run away with it. But y'all don't use your pieces the right way. You went and got the running back, and you don't even use them in the right way. You got 2 running backs. You got 3 really. You pick Cordell Patterson back there too, and you don't use them.
Mm-hmm.
You keep trying to go to these bum behind quarterbacks. They're bums. They're bums. They're not made to throw the ball, especially in the downers that you're pitting them in. Then the penalties, they have dumb penalties. It's just a crapshoot down there, man. You know, and that goes back to coaching. Arthur is not a good coach. Arthur Smith's not a good coach. Plain and simple. So yeah, give me the Colts, man.
He's got to focus more on getting the ball to Bijan Robinson.
He do. He got to create space for him, whatever he got to do. Because you don't go that high to get that type of player, man, and not to utilize him. It just don't make no sense.
They use him like a gadget player.
They
25 touches a game. 25 touches a game. 25 touches a game. Okay, between passing and running the ball. You got to, like you said, there's 2 other guys that can run the ball too. But that should be your workhorse. It should be a run-first offense. Get Bijan the ball and stop grooming the mustache. We don't care about that. We're in agreement there. I also picked the Colts. Let me mark that down. Okay. The next game, Green Bay at Carolina. Carolina coming off of their 2nd win of the year, and Green Bay coming off of their 2nd straight loss.
Yeah.
Carolina is a 5-point home dog.
Interesting number. That's a touchdown that Green Bay got to win by. You know what, bro? I'm not falling for the smoke screen, bro. Give me Green Bay. I'll be darned from taking the Panthers. I'm not falling for the smoke screen. Hell no. They're that bad. Panthers are really that bad. Atlanta's just terrible. I mean, yeah, they're terrible. So was it? Yeah, Atlanta. They're just terrible. You feel me?
Well, Green Bay, Carolina. Carolina. See, I'm not picking Carolina because they're probably the worst team, and I don't see them winning any more games. So now you're just playing with the number. Do you think Green Bay wins by five more? So I'm just going with the better team. And if Green Bay is to have any shot in getting into the playoffs, this is a gotta happen.
Yeah. Now if you lose this game, then you kill the playoffs. It's not happening. These are the games that you have to win. These are the defining games. If you look at the season, if any game, this is the game you have to win. It's a must win for Green Bay.
We are in agreement again. Okay, Cleveland with Joe Flacco at Houston. Houston is a 2.5-point home underdog, and I don't think as of right now Stroud is playing because they say that he is having sensitivity to light, so he's still showing signs of post-concussion. So let's assume that Stroud doesn't play.
I mean, I was like, you know what? What's called stepped in, had a good game though. You know, my man that's been a veteran journeyman that just played Sunday against Tennessee. Who was the quarterback played, man?
I can't remember because I was surprised it wasn't Mills.
Yeah, it wasn't Mills. It was man. He's a journeyman, and he did a good job. I mean, for the context.
They came back and won. I can't picture who it is.
Oh man, brain. It's one jump on my brain, but it just won't. Kellen. It's Kellen.
Yeah. uh, uh, oh my
Case
gosh.
Keenum. Case Keenum. Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Case
Case
Keenum.
Keenum.
Case Keenum. It was Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, which
That's
he ain't a
the
bad
one.
quarterback. For his back, he's really not a bad veteran back.
He's a good backup, but
He
he's
is.
not
He's
a
a
good.
good backup, but a backup's a backup. I mean, Flacco's a backup, but I like Flacco being a better backup. So give me Cleveland on the road. And I know Texas is a hostile environment to play, but I just think that Cleveland is it's a trap game right now for me, man. That's one of them trap games, bro. But the only reason why I'm picking Cleveland because Texas also have a lot of injuries on their side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, so does Cleveland. Cleveland's got a lot. They're missing
Yeah.
2 starters on their offensive line, and
Are they?
yeah, and Flacco is is a backup at this stage of his career.
Yes. And it's a hostile environment. You're going down there. Let's run first with Cleveland.
Well, Houston is still trying to get in the playoffs.
They are.
And Cleveland is still trying to get in the playoffs. So it's going to be a big game for both.
It is. You know what, man? I might have to flop that pick right there. Give me a Texas, man, just for the points.
All right. Well, we're in disagreement because I have Cleveland. I have Cleveland winning. Because I'll just take Flacco at this stage over Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And
as a bet, man, I'm wrong.
Both good defenses, but like when Cleveland's defense is going, they are really going.
Yeah.
And I think what's his name? Myles Garrett is going to be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for him to finish strong. So our first disagreement, I got Cleveland in this one. Detroit at Minnesota. It's on Fox. Minnesota is a 3-point home dog.
Their defense been playing real good defense of late. It's the offense is the problem. But I think Jefferson got hurt again, didn't he?
He did. Different injury.
Yeah. So he might not even play this game. And he got Mullins back there.
He actually played pretty well last week.
He really did. And then they have a defense, actually. It's 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Jared Goff and them put some points up, man. They might be in their groove. Give me Detroit.
We're in agreement. I also have Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
And, one team's got their starting quarterback, and the other one is on there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I mean, I think defensively, they do got good defense. You feel me? So that 3 might be suspect because Detroit they underperform, man. They do. But hopefully that was a spark they needed when they just blew out freaking Denver. Oh my God. They blew them out. Wasn't in the game. So bad. Peyton cussed out Russell Wilson. He got girl sacked, man. You ain't gonna talk to me all crazy. I make too much money for you to talk crazy to me like that. Don't care you coach or not coach. You got my face, man. You better got my face, man.
Russell didn't say nothing.
He didn't tell him to pipe down. There like, you crazy, bro. I got my face, man. I ain't the reason why we lose this game. All of us is the reason why we lose this freaking game. You better take that down, man. I ain't him. Anyway, I'm sorry, America. You ain't gonna get in my face. We grown men. You gonna talk to me respectfully, man. Let's go.
Washington at the Jets. The Jets are a 3-point favorite.
What?
I think that's crazy.
What?
They are a 3-point. I know Washington is bad.
You know what? Washington Achilles heel is their pass defense. It sucks. We know this, right? The Achilles of the Jets is that they don't have a quarterback. So if you're asking me who I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go with the Commanders. And I'm getting points. Oh man, give me the Commanders, man. I know it's a crap show in Washington, man, but what they got going on in New York, and I believe Trevor Simeon's going to play because I think Jack Wilson's still in concussive protocols. Trevor Simeon's a bum. Straight bum. I can't go with no bum. At least Howell got better upside. So they both bums, but I'm going to go with the better bum. You feel me? Give me Sam Howell, man, in the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I got Washington, and I'm getting points. There's no way I would ever pick the Jets. The only way I would pick the Jets is if they're a big underdog like they were last week. I'm not picking them beating another team, and they gotta win by 3. No, thank you.
No, I'm good.
No, thank you. Washington all the way. All right, Seattle at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 2.5-point home underdog.
Man, that's gonna be an interesting game. That's an interesting game, bro.
I was surprised that Tennessee lost this past week.
I was too. I was, especially how they lost, because they was actually like they should have won that game, man. I think they just let off the gas pedal. And I think that didn't that game eliminate them from the playoffs officially.
They got eliminated. Yeah, they're officially eliminated.
So you got one team that's playing for a spot, and you got another team playing spoiler.
Sometimes when you're just playing spoiler, you can kind of relax a little bit and because you're not stressed out.
Your Seattle just came off a big win. I think they clicking. Give me Seattle, man. I just can't take Tennessee because they don't even use Derrick Henry like that. Like if they was using Derrick Henry, and I don't think he's really on the downside. I just think that they're trying to go a different direction with the offense and putting Will Levis' hand. You know. Mm-hmm. So. Man, give me Seattle. I can't go with no team like Tennessee.
I'm in agreement. Seattle's the desperate team. They got to have it. Tennessee's not that good. They play hard, but they're not that good. And Seattle, I mean, if they don't win this one.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Lock is the quarterback, so.
But he did good last week.
He did. But it's Drew Lock. So that's the only concern I have is that it's Drew Lock. He's inconsistent. That's why he's no longer the starter of Denver because he's inconsistent. So that's the only concern.
We are in agreement. We both got Seattle, but I would not put any money on that game because
that's not a betting game right there, man.
That's not a betting game. No. Okay, we got the limping Jacksonville going into Tampa Bay. I have it right now as a
God. I don't know where to go with this game, but man, because Tampa Bay came with a big win in Green Bay. They're leading the division right now. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Jacksonville's trying to figure it out. You got one team trying to figure it out, and you got another team that just came off a big win. I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
You're going with Jacksonville?
I still think that Tampa Bay, the South, is still the weakest division of football. So give me Jacksonville.
All right, we see another one differently. I got Tampa Bay. I just don't like how Jacksonville is limping around. The quarterback is getting beat up pretty bad. Tampa Bay, they're feeling pretty good about themselves. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on this one. There's no spread right now, so as a pick 'em, straight up Tampa Bay. Arizona 425 Fox at Chicago. Chicago is a 4-point home favorite.
Oh man, I like Arizona. I like Arizona, bro. Give me the points. I know y'all did this. I know y'all demolished Detroit at home, bro. But and I don't really like taking Arizona because I think they're really that bad. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't believe y'all that good to be a 4-point favorite over anybody. So give me Arizona.
I think a team from Arizona playing Chicago in late December, and they're not a good team. I gotta pick Chicago with this. Chicago beats the teams they're supposed to beat. The frustrating ones are when they're beating the teams they're supposed to lose to, and they cough it up at the end. When they outplay them for 3.5 quarters and they cough it up at the end. That's what's frustrating. I don't see that happening with Arizona. I know Kyle Murray. He's hard to take down. He extends plays and stuff like that. But Arizona has a bad defense.
A terrible defense.
And the Bears, at the very least, are getting a lot of turnovers. So anyway, we're in disagreement. I'm going to take Chicago. Dallas at Miami. Miami is a 1.5 point favorite at home.
I like my
against that.
boys. Bounce back game, focused, extremely focused. Play another team in that division. Give me Dallas. I think we'll come out focused for this game, knowing that we are the challenge that's ahead of us. Give me Dallas. We got to still keep pace with Philly.
I'm in agreement. I think Dallas wins this one. They have a bounce back. I think Miami will have a letdown. Plus, the line is talking to me a little bit. I'm feeling Dallas on the road to get a signature road win, if you want to call it that. The 8:15 game, New England at Denver. Denver is a home favorite, 6.5. They got to win by a touchdown.
By a touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, bro. A touchdown? New England is trash, though. New England's trash, man. Not that fiasco has happened out Detroit, which is a better team. Belly zappy. Cold. Oh, man, 6 points. Just the 6 points, man. Either the line's inflated or it might be at the right place. So that means they got to score touchdowns. Russell Wilson. Defense. Playing decent. All right. Shoot the dice on this one, man. Let me think. Give me New England for the points.
Ooh, we're in disagreement. I'm going to go with Denver because they are clearly the better team.
They are.
Loss, Russell getting scolded on television. New England's just terrible. They're terrible, terrible. So I'm going to go Denver. They got to win by a touchdown. So what? Monday night, we got 3 games. 1 o'clock, Las Vegas at Kansas City. CBS, Kansas City at home is a 10-point favorite.
Give me Kansas City. As much as they look challenging, give me Kansas City.
We are in agreement there, despite the fact that Las Vegas scored over 60 points in their last game. Yeah. That's crazy. New York Giants are a 12-point underdog to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, after DeVito gets crushed in Philly, he go get a slice of pie because they already in South Philly, so he go right down the street to one of them piece of joints, go get them a slice of pie. They gonna need it. They're gonna get killed. Give me Philly.
Yeah, the number was talking to me a little bit because of the fact the Giants have a pretty good defense, but I don't like that it's in Philly. Philly has got to get out of this rut.
Yeah,
I think this is the get well game. We're in agreement. We both pick Philly, and the last one, 8:15 Monday night, and it is the game of
the what? This could be the bottom. This could be, in my opinion,
this could be a Super Bowl preview.
This could be a Super Bowl preview, in my opinion. Man,
Baltimore Ravens,
man,
at San Francisco, and the line is a funny line. San Francisco is a 5.5 point home favorite. 5.5.
San Fran been crushing jokers, man. Like crushing jokers, man. This offense is explosive, man. Explosive, man. But one thing I know about Harbaugh is he is a good coach. You know what I mean? I know he's a great coach, but I just think it's too much to throw at Baltimore right now. So I'm gonna go with the home team, man, to cover that spread.
We are in disagreement.
Who you like, Baltimore?
San Francisco might win. I don't think they cover the spread. Ooh. I think Baltimore makes it tight.
Yeah?
Tight. Yeah.
Man,
I do.
And Fran been crushing jokers, man.
All right, but they didn't crush Baltimore.
Nah.
So we'll see how it goes. I think Lamar, this is his last shot if he wants to make a run for the MVP. He's
MVP.
got to look good in this
Yeah.
game.
I mean, he's a
And
game
considering
changer.
that Purdy's on the other side, he's going to want to outshine Purdy.
I mean, he's a game changer, so he definitely could do it. And then he's a big gamer, so he does come to play in big games. I give Lamar that. He's a gamer, so I don't think he's going to shy in the moment. And I definitely think he's going to show the league what he do. But that defense is crazy, man. That defense, fast defense, he's going against, man. But man, I just can't wait, man. I can't wait. And once again, this was a great show.
We disagreed on 5 games.
Yeah,
so we'll see how it goes. That is our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. We will see you again next Wednesday, 9:00, hopefully.
Yes,
And everybody, make sure you have a great and safe holiday. Enjoy all the games, the 5 NBA games, the 3 NFL games. Might as well check out In Between A Christmas Story because it's going to be on for 24 hours. You got to watch it at least once, right? At some point. So for my main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gil and Larry, telling everybody stay healthy, and we'll catch you next time. Deuces, y'all.
My man.
My man.